Straight ahead on 12 News, a hockey secret until now, how Brooklyn Park grabbed a piece of the national spotlight. Then, signs of children slowing down.
We're much more sedentary. We're eating many more fast foods and highly processed foods.
An alarming report about our youth. But first, a housing controversy. Why some Brooklyn Park residents are concerned what a new project may do to their property values. 12 News starts right now. Seeking compromise on a controversial project in Brooklyn Park. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Johnson.
And I'm Alexandra Renslow. Neighbors are speaking out about a proposed residential development called Oxbow Cove in the northern part of the city. Renee Bonneau shows you how the developer and the city are trying to satisfy those opposed.
Oxbow Cove is a single-family residential development that would include 95 homes, a pool, and a playground. The houses built here would be similar to ones in the area, but on smaller lots, and that's drawing protests from neighbors.
There are approximately 300 families who built in the Oxbow Creek development, ranging in price from $400,000 to $900,000. Lot sizes were a distinct factor for many, with larger lot sizes different enough from surrounding communities to hopefully create a highly desirable neighborhood protecting our investment.
Neighbors Monday night also voiced concerns over how this project will affect their property values and over the type of zone requested for the area.
I understand that that's not what is in the current plan, but if it were rezoned, the possibility that we could see multifamily housing in this development in the future remains.
In the end, the council held off on making some key decisions.
Last night they passed the first reading of the rezoning, but they tabled action on the plat until the second reading comes back so that we could answer some additional questions for them related to the zoning and the density and some other things like that.
The city says the developer is doing its best to work with neighbors, but some parties might still end up disappointed.
You can't make everybody happy, and I think we sometimes just have to understand that.
In Brooklyn Park, Renee Bonneau, 12 News.
The City Council takes up the issue again on December 16th.
The cold weather was a factor in battling a fire near the Macy's women's store at Ridgedale Mall. Firefighters from Golden Valley, West Metro, and Plymouth were among those called in to help. The fire broke out in an area of Macy's that is under construction, so there were no shoppers around, but the rest of Macy's was evacuated. Firefighters had to cut into the walls and roof line to find the flames. The weather made that job miserable.
We've had to call in more crews than we normally would for a fire of this size, just for the fact that it's so cold. We have to rotate crews about every 15 minutes, especially the ones working on the roof. It's windy up there and it's cold and they're wet, so we're trying to get them rotated out as often as possible.
That fire was contained after about an hour. No injuries were reported, and there is no word on what caused the fire. Last year, across the country, there were 15 incidents where an active shooter opened fire in public.
And that includes the Accent Signage workplace shooting in Minneapolis. Today, a reminder how to prepare in a worst-case scenario.
And if you find yourself facing an active shooter, there are 3 key things you need to remember to survive.
Run, hide, fight is the message of a safety video that was shown to 911 dispatchers and Hennepin County Sheriff's personnel. The video is part of ongoing emergency response training for dispatchers, but the video is also being shown to the public at workplaces and other community gathering spots. The bottom line is to get people thinking about what to do in an active shooting situation. The message is run away if you can, hide, or as a last resort, fight back.
People are very smart, their instincts kick in. What we're helping is reinforce their instincts, run, hide, fight. Nobody wants to get to the last piece, which is fight, but given your first 2 options are dead ends, you've got to do something. We don't want you to be a victim.
If you would like to have the video shown at your organization, you can contact the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office.
Brooklyn Park is getting a new restaurant complete with train set and replica train car. Broadway Pizza is moving in next to Festival Foods off Highway 252 and 85th Avenue. It will take over space that used to be a Hollywood video store. The City Council approved a liquor license and construction plans on Monday night. Construction will begin right after the holidays. Broadway Pizza hopes to be in mid to late March. Brooklyn Center City Council has approved plans to redevelop the former Brookdale Mall food court. The 123,000 square foot building will be torn down. It will be replaced with 10 new retail buildings. The developer determined the food court wasn't workable to attract potential tenants.
In New Hope, plans are moving forward on a housing project rarely seen in fully developed suburbs. The city has approved plans to tear down the Winnetka Learning Center. Demolition should begin in January. By April, the city hopes a developer will begin building dozens of new homes. New Hope chose Centra Homes for the project. Centra is proposing to build 34 single-family homes at an average price of $315,000 and 27 townhomes that would sell for $250,000. Centra is buying the property from the city of New Hope for just over $1 million. Well, here's something you might not know. People used to refer to Robbinsdale as the little city next to the big one.
A committee of artists hopes to use that nickname as inspiration for the next mural in downtown Robbinsdale.
I love color, so I would like to see something that's really vibrant.
The mural in downtown Robbinsdale is a painting past its prime. Extreme weather has chipped away large areas of the mural. An artist painted it 17 years ago, and it has been patched up and touched up at least 3 times since then. The original artist visited again recently and said there weren't any quick fixes left. As a result, a committee of artists has formed and is looking for ideas for a new mural.
What we want is for the artists to come in, get a feel for the community, get a feel for what Robbinsdale is, who the people are that live here.
After the project is selected, the committee expects to hold fundraisers to pay for the new mural. Well, up next, a new fitness challenge for kids. See how local schools are trying to work in exercise.
And a little later in sports, why Champlin Park looks like a top contender in Northwest Suburban Conference boys basketball.
But first, storms out east to mess up Thanksgiving travel. Thankfully, it is pretty quiet around here.
On this chilly day, Brooklyn Park firefighters volunteered to warm up the holidays for others. They participated in the Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign. It was a campaign that needed backup from a pair of boots.
I just started at 10 o'clock and the bucket's pretty well full, so we are starting on the boots already. So people have been very, very generous this year.
The Brooklyn Park Fire Department says the Salvation Army is often used when a fire displaces families from their homes. Kids today are not as fit as their parents were when they were young.
That's according to a study released by Australian researchers, which indicates that it takes children 90 seconds longer to run a mile than it did 30 years ago. In today's Health Check report, Delane Cleveland tells us why and explores ways to correct the problem.
Wonderful. Stay down, slow down.
Physical education is a top priority at Parkbrook Elementary.
Focus your eyes on the wall.
Has been for more than a year.
Down, up.
With 3 days a week of gym class and multiple activities organized outside of the normal school day.
Hello! We want our students to be successful. And there's a lot of research that if you're increasing your fitness, you're increasing your academics.
So far, Principal Scott Taylor says it's worked.
And we've seen a strong correlation here at Parkbrook with our testing scores going up.
So we took exercise physiologists, dietitians.
That's due in large part to the work of Susan Nygaard at Allina Health.
Allina Health is really reaching out to our communities to help improve the health of the kids.
Nygaard oversaw the program that gave Parkbrook various resources to help kids stay healthy and active.
Not only financial resources, but having the physician there in the school to do some work with the kids and the staff.
Yet despite the hard work, research shows children as a whole still aren't getting enough exercise. A recent study says kids today are less fit than kids 30 years ago.
We're much more sedentary. We're eating many more fast foods and highly processed foods. We're not sleeping as much as we need to. So just holistically, many different changes are taking place.
Experts say one of the primary reasons for the sedentary nature of this generation is the popularity of video games and electronics.
It's amazing how much time kids do spend on those things after school.
A higher metabolism is a healthier way to live.
Which is why they're working to combat the problem at the school level, one push-up.
Watch him! This is your goal!
And jump rope at a time.
Kids are naturally born to move and run and play. And so giving them the opportunity and have a school environment that supports that has been one of the greatest achievements.
In Brooklyn Park, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
Experts say parents should set limits as to how long children should watch television or play video games, and use the extra time to find physical activities the whole family can enjoy, such as walking or even ping pong, something like that. That'll keep you going.
That will get. Park Brook is working them over there.
You bet. Well, coming up, Brooklyn Park becomes home ice for a new hockey commercial.
But first in sports, the Osseo boys hockey team looks to bounce back from a tough season last winter. John Jacobson profiles the Orioles when we come back.
John Jacobson with sports now, and we're looking at a girls basketball team. It's a pretty good program, but you know, they have some new faces. It's hard to stay at the top of the game year after year after year.
Especially with the kind of talent they lost from last year, but we'll see as they get started this year. The Osseo girls basketball team had quite a season last winter as the Orioles get started practicing for the 2013-2014 season. They have some holes to fill in the lineup. The Orioles tied for the Northwest Suburban Conference title, won the Section 5-4A title, and ultimately placed fourth in the state tournament a year ago. The longtime standouts and now Division I college players, Janae Morton and Phyllis Webb, have graduated. So is their life after Morton and Webb?
You always would wonder that after both of those kids have been in the program for 4 and 5 years respectively. So yeah, it's like it's a brand new start. And you know, we kind of took that theme and went with the new uniform, with the new practice things this year, with the all orange. It's kind of like, hey, you know what? We move on. Things are going to get better, and we like the kids that we have in the gym this year.
Two starters returned from a 22-win Orioles team. Strong forward Io Port, who signed with Minnesota Duluth, and guard Maddie Malone. This is a team that is lacking size, but they expect to be fast.
We'll be a small team this year, but we'll be a running gun team. And I think it's going to come together pretty well.
I think we're going to be running the floor way more. I mean, we've been doing a lot of conditioning for it, so we'll be ready for it.
The Orioles open the season next Thursday, December 5th at home against Andover. In boys basketball, the Champlin Park Rebels open the season later this week at a Thanksgiving tournament. And the Rebels are definitely looking for good things this winter. 3 all-conference players return. Guards Ian Smith and J.T. Gibson have played a lot of ball and are very talented. And forward Brennan Witt is a crafty baseline scorer for the Rebels. Their skill and experience should make this a strong contender in the Northwest Suburban.
Yeah, definitely. Brennan Witt, J.T. Gibson, and myself, we're the only returning starters, but us 3 as a whole, we feel great about the team and what us 3 are capable of, and we'll do a great job. We're confident.
Definitely win conference. We're right up there with Osseo this year. I think we can take it to them this year, hopefully make a state run this year.
The Rebels tied for 3rd in the Northwest Suburban last winter and won 19 games overall. Add in players from a 25-1 junior varsity team, and you can see why Champlin Park expects to do well. It's a versatile group, too.
I would say our athleticism. We're pretty long. We're not super tall, but you know, we're very long, athletic, very quick, kind of how we've been in the past few years.
Champlin Park opens the season against Cooper Friday afternoon at 3 at the Hopkins Thanksgiving Tournament. In boys hockey, Osseo's hoping to take a few strides forward after a difficult 2012-2013 season. The Orioles won just 3 games a season ago and tied Armstrong for last in the Northwest Suburban Conference. They had a lot of younger guys in the lineup, and they learned from some of the tough losses a season ago.
Yeah, we definitely have a little more chemistry this year, having a year of playing with each other and stuff. So I think it'll help us a lot more this year, whereas last year we had to break the ice right away.
Yeah, it was a tough year, and we knew going in that we were going to be really young. You know, we had eight sophomores and a freshman playing all the time, so it's tough playing at that high school level and making that jump from the Bantam A's to varsity. And you know, they battled hard, and you know, it got tough as the year went along, not getting a lot of wins, but you know, they seem refreshed this year and ready to start over and turn a page.
It's a pretty experienced group this year for the Orioles, especially defensively. They tied Buffalo 4-4 in their season opener after not scoring 4 goals in any game all last season. The Orioles think they'll definitely be better this winter.
500 and above we're shooting for. That'd be a huge goal for us. I think we can probably achieve that, but yeah, 500 and above.
You know, we got a lot back. We lost a couple seniors, and that's about it. So, you know, it's been good so far. A lot more jump, and guys are snapping the puck around pretty good, and it's been good so far.
Osseo's next 2 games are tough tests. They play at 6th-ranked Eden Prairie tonight, Tuesday, then face 3rd-ranked Blaine next Thursday, December 5th, as Northwest Suburban Conference play begins. So some very difficult games early on for the Orioles.
All right, thanks a lot, John. Still ahead, lights, camera, action in Brooklyn Park.
See how the city's ice arena is getting a piece of the national spotlight when we come back.
Brooklyn Park's ice arena is in the national spotlight.
A commercial was recently filmed at the arena, and as reporter Sonia Goen shows us, it features a top NHL player.
A lot of the action took place here on the east side.
Brooklyn Park Ice Arena has had champions in the building before.
I ended up getting a phone call from an ad agency.
What drives me is to be the best player on the ice every day.
But it recently got an unexpected guest.
It ended up being Zach Parise from the Minnesota Wild, so that was pretty exciting.
A goalie's worst nightmare.
The arena was the location for a national commercial.
To be able to showcase our ice facility is fantastic, so we're really proud of that.
It was sponsored by USA Hockey and Chocolate Milk.
Nutrients to refuel, protein to rebuild.
Very, very friendly, nice to work with, and very complimentary of us as staff, too. So he's a nice, down-to-earth gentleman.
The ad was produced in late September, but arena officials had to be hush about the details. That is, until now.
He was here for about 8 hours, skating hard, then just relaxing at times, but shot a lot of pucks.
The non-traditional roof was the big draw.
They liked the character, the ceiling in Brooklyn Park here. It's a unique feature rather than your traditional just flat roof.
I skated at this rink from the time I was probably 5 until 18 years old.
Many of these skaters were really surprised to learn that Zach Parise was skating on the same ice as they are.
Knowing that one of the greatest stars in the NHL skated on the same ice that I did growing up, I think it's wonderful.
Well, I think it's really cool that, like a famous hockey player was skating on the same ice as that skater.
Zach Parise also scored points by signing autograph for arena staff.
People kind of knew what was happening, and people got a chance to take a break from their regular job, come down and get a chance to see something different and unique.
In Brooklyn Park, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
Something else to look for, a magazine ad featuring Zach Parise in the arena will also be out soon. A connection to a star, right?
That's right.
That's it for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
We'll see you back here tomorrow. Community Corner is coming up next.